ちは、皆さん。I'm Great Oka United Empire。今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよ。みんな、ブローケンケーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. This is episode number 52. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas. Excuse me. Here with my co-host, as always, our reigning, defending Broken Tables predictions champion, Rome. We got Juan C already in the chat. What's up, my man? How you doing? Welcome to the AEW Dynamite review for July 6th, 2022. And we have a new TNT champion, Wardlow, smashing Scorpio Sky and all his little hoodlums from the American Top Team. And wow, that was a great opening match, man. And I actually thought this was a great Dynamite all the way through. Did you have as much fun as I did tonight for Dynamite?
Yeah, a really good time. Thought it was a really good show.
Yeah,
but I will say this: look, when you're announcing me, because I am the reigning, defending, broken predictions champion.
What did I do wrong this time?
Look, the problem is, I just feel like I'm starting to think you might have an issue with me. And if you have an issue, you can say it. Because this week, last week you messed up with the video. The week before was the audio, and now you're here. Like, you're coughing during my, you announcing me.
That was before I announced you. That was the end of my own name, actually. I apologize.
We can't SoundCloud it. Thank you, Big T. Welcome, my friend.
And Miaja, welcome. All hail King Rome. And rest in peace to the ass claimed, man. Yeah. Oh. That was a sad moment for me. I was hoping this would go a little longer, but, we'll get to that one there. So we start the night off with Wardlow having his entrance almost right away. And, dude, this entrance for Wardlow kicked so much ass for me. I actually really, really enjoyed this whole beginning of Dynamite tonight. This whole match was great.
Yeah, I thought that this was a really strong opening. I don't know if it necessarily needed to be a street fight. I think they did that just because they wanted to have America's Top Team kind of involved in the match. What's up, Big T? How you doing, man?
That's a cool hat you got there, by the way.
Thank you. It is an official. It's from the Pokemon Center. I really like it. So it's Gengar in front of the moon. And I also kind of like how on the front side or the back side of it, kind of like the purple kind of.
I do like the back of that. That's really cool.
I mean, if the Pokemon Center wants to, sponsor me, I pretty much what's up, Juan? How you doing, man? I pretty much am constantly repping the Pokemon Center. So,
yeah, I thought he was talking to me for a second. I was like, damn, did I not say what's up? But yeah, what's up to everybody in chat? Welcome, you guys.
Adding Big T. But no, this was a really strong opening match. It's just kind of the natural progression of how you build a star. That's what we saw tonight. It was just,
yeah.
I mean, I know when he beat MJF, we were saying well, now he's a star, now he's on the roster, and now he's, starting point. I mean, but tonight more so felt like a starting point than the MJF win. Definitely felt like we're on the, we're on that track now. And Wardlow, he's established, he needed the win against MJF to kind of get him to this match, and then this match is the match that puts him over the top and establishes him.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Sucks that Scorpio had to have another short run here, but, it was just a victim of circumstance at the moment.
So I have a theory. I have a feeling that Scorpio Sky's hurt.
My only thing about that is the match tonight didn't show me he was hurt. But you could always have a Kenny Omega type situation where you can easily work through it and be pretty badly, not feeling 100%. So I think you might be right, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the reasons I kind of feel that way, I felt like while this was a really... So the way I feel about this match, and I said it kind of where I was like, I don't know if this really should have been a street fight, whereas this was an okay match with excellent moments. And like the moments that were excellent are all that matters in this match. Like I don't think that this match was like anything to write home about. I mean, it wasn't, bell to bell. It was fine. It was serviceable. But I
Yes.
mean, I don't think they went too far at any point. I feel like America's Top Team was there to kind of cover Scorpio a little bit.
Yeah.
After the match, Scorpio tweeted, thank you to my supporters, thank you to my not benefactors, detractors. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll see you guys later. So it's like, for me, this felt like just kind of getting him off TV. I feel like he's hurt. I mean, remember, after the LA show, he had kind of already gotten hurt, so they kept him off TV for a few weeks. Maybe they were just like, hey, look, if you need time, we have the guys. Like Wardlow's ready to go, so let's do it. So that's kind of how I felt about it. I really thought the crowd was super hot for Wardlow.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this was a really excellent moment for him. I mean, just again, like this was an okay match, but the moments that mattered were just excellent, and it was really good.
Yeah, and like Juan said, I love Wardlow's Swanton Bomb. Um, I think he does it just as good, if not better, than I've seen Jeff do it. So I really enjoy when he does that spot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I thought the Swanton was awesome. Again, him hitting the Powerbomb Symphony and like really just getting rid of America's Top Team, just from between Lambert and the MMA guys and Ethan Page, and just him getting the power bombs on Scorp and getting the win and the confetti. I mean, like the confetti, like that. I mean, like it was a big deal. It felt like the culmination of the Wardlow storyline. Honestly, like I mean, the MJF wasn't really. This was the culmination.
Yeah,
Of it.
and I don't know if you noticed it, but the camera seemed a little bit more higher quality tonight. It seemed like they upgraded all of their equipment. I don't know if it was just me, but maybe it was better lighting or what, but it really felt like the camera, it felt better quality to me, if that makes any sense. It felt real, like almost like 4K, you know what I'm saying? It was weird. They
I don't think
also,
it was 4K, but I mean, yeah, it looked good.
yeah. And they also mentioned MJF for the first time in quite a while tonight, and they mentioned him a few times right as the match was starting, just kind of describing some stuff in the past, but I think that's the first time they've even mentioned him in a long time.
Yeah, actually a month to be exact. It was
Yeah.
about I believe it was a month ago yesterday since the MJF promo. And
Mhm.
honestly, this may be I don't think this is an unpopular opinion, but I think with everything that's gone on over the last month, this MJF storyline has really dried up for me. If it's a work, which I'm still going off the assumption that it's a work and MJF's going to be back, it's kind of like, well, there's like we lost Punk, we lost Danielson, we're dealing with a bunch of injuries, and amongst other things, it was just like I don't know, losing MJF and him just being gone. Like for me, this storyline is completely cooled down. And I feel like
Yeah.
like if the goal is to keep MJF off TV until he comes back and it's like a shock return, like it's kind of not working for me. Like I thought I was gonna be fine with it, and again, like it could end up being a shoot. I don't think it's a shoot, but it was. I don't know. It's just kind of soured on me where it's like I just, we don't have Punk, we don't have Danielson, we're down a few other guys, and it's just like, man, I think the last thing we need right now is a healthy MJF sitting at home.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad they mentioned him. That does signal to me that he's not just gone. I think it is going to be Wardlow shining for a while. I think we're meant for the MJF stuff to go cold for a while. So I think he's going to show up one day and we're going to pop like crazy. You know what I mean? So I think that'll be fun. And what's up, Ryan? Good show. Same. Yeah, I love how he destroyed the entire American Top Team. So yeah, basically Wardlow threw Scorpio Sky into Dan Lambert on the side of the apron, knocked him off the ring, gave him a power bomb, gave him 2 or 3 power bombs, I believe is what the number was, and put the one foot on the chest and got the 1 2 3. I wasn't expecting Scorpio to take the pin with the foot on the chest, but it is what it is after the powerbomb symphony there. Congratulations to Wardlow on his first championship in AEW, the new TNT championship, TNT champion.
Yeah, and it was just absolute star power. You know, it's just the way that the crowd erupted for him. You know, we talked about it leading up to this storyline, leading up to this match, but it's just like this is how you take a guy from scratch that nobody knew, and you do something with him. You make him relevant. You make him a star. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like this isn't like Austin Theory over in WWE, who's it's just the next guy that's going to get shoved down everyone's throats. Because I mean, WWE fans don't seem happy about that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I thought this was a great thing to start off the show with. As soon as I saw him walking out, I actually got super excited. I kind of like jumped up on the edge of my seat. Next up was a promo by Jon Moxley that was absolutely fantastic. A nice little video promo from Mox. Um, Mox basically, I had really strong, motherfuckers forgot about Dre. I had a really strong, forgot about Mox vibe in this. This was a really good promo by Moxley here. He's just on another level right now. His in-ring skills and his on-mic skills are just incredible.
Yeah, definitely. Before we touch on that, I just want to in the chat, Ryan Davis asking us, is Christian Cage the best thing happening in wrestling at the moment? I think yes. The answer to that question is
Oh, dude.
yes.
I mean, you can't say him without Luchasaurus though. Like if he didn't have Luchasaurus with him, I'd be a little bit different on it, but it's great.
We'll talk more about it, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to kind of answer that. And then Big T saying he wonders if MJF is going to attack Wardlow when he returns, building off Maxwell has never had a title in AEW and could kind of book their feud in a proper match.
Yep.
I was thinking that tonight actually. I was like, I wonder if the way to go with that is have another match.
Yeah. I
I
was
don't know if
thinking the
it's the
same
way
thing.
that they go.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the way they want to go because at that point, I mean, like, yes, you could have MJF beat Wardlow because MJF has not beaten Wardlow. But, you know, I mean, well, I'm saying Mox definitely holding it down for AEW with all these injuries. He absolutely is. I thought this was an excellent promo. And, I mean, just like, Mox is just one of the best talkers. You know, he's one of those guys who every time he has these real promos and they really resonate and they really hit. I thought this was an excellent promo, though, beyond that, just because of how he puts himself over, but he also puts BRODIE over and gives BRODIE
Oh yeah.
credibility. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, there are going to be people who are like, why is Brody King getting a title shot? And AEW is just, they keep doing this where they did a great job of really establishing Brody King. Between last Friday, he eliminated Hangman, he eliminated Darby Allin in the Royal Rampage, and then here we are tonight, and just you have Mox putting him over. Later on in the night, you have Regal putting him over, you have Malachi Black putting him over. It's just, again, it's just how you build people up that matters. Like you do it the right way, and these guys who are all very talented, you know, they're gonna shine if you build them correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody please hit that like button if you don't mind, and hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed to the channel yet. We really appreciate that. Helps us get the videos out there, helps us build the channel up. Next up was a Mark Sterling and Tony Nese promo on Keith Lee. I thought this was a decent little promo here.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I think that this whole petition thing is a fun little thing that we saw throughout the show. It's again, yeah, I thought it was clever. I enjoy it. I always enjoy Mark Sterling, and I am enjoying this this petition. He's going around with a petition trying to get Swerve Strickland just released from AEW.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's really funny. It's I don't know. I found it hilarious, especially the segment that comes up later in the night.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, this was really cool. And Keith says no. Keith Lee says he's not going to sign it. He's still his partner, and they're still winning. At the end of the day, winning is what matters, and getting those championships is what matters. And again, like that mentality is a mentality that pro wrestling needs to continue to have. And yeah, I mean, I appreciated that for that. Big T agreeing with Juan. He really likes the idea of these left field matches for Mox. Yeah, I hope that that's what we see for the next few months until Punk gets back. I would like to see Mox kind of defend the title every week against someone different. Big T also saying he's officially going to Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. It's fucking awesome. That's really cool.
That's awesome. I'm jealous. Although we're hoping to go to the Arthur Ashe one. We'll see what happens here. That's only like 2 hours away.
Oh yeah, no, it's not far at all.
Yeah. All right. Next up was what I think Ryan was talking about here is Christian Cage and Luchasaurus the best thing in wrestling right now? And I think we both agree. Yes, man. Wow, just Christian's promo is just ruthless, man. Like did Tony Khan just say, "Bro, you have no leash. Just don't cross, don't cross the line with the Discovery or Warner, and we're all good. You can say whatever the hell you want, cuz holy shit."
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. And again, this is something else that I think is overall, in my opinion, really hurting MJF stock because Christian Cage is also a phenomenal heel. And like he's going there and he's kind of filling that slot that MJF was kind of taking up to an extent. Not to say that MJF's not excellent and incredible, but again, that's what I was thinking after this promo. Like my first thought was like, holy shit, Christian Cage is the best thing in wrestling, and my second thing was like, damn, like thinking about MJF again. My MJF was on my mind a lot this first half hour, where I was like, yeah, man, but like at the same time, you could have MJF on this show doing similar work, and I think that that's overall a miss.
Yeah.
And yeah, FTR versus the Briscoes is going to be a banger.
Oh, Jesus.
Ryan Davis saying Christian is killing it right now. Dude's doing his best work ever. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's incredible. Juan also saying Christian hit another home run with this promo. I thought that this
Absolutely.
promo was just absolutely phenomenal. I loved the interaction between Matt and Christian. I mean, we've had this a little bit before when Matt Hardy and Christian feuded at the beginning of the year, but I think this was a natural way for the story to go. And yeah, the Jeff Hardy lines, man. Ugh, Jesus Christ. I wrote one of them down. He says, "You make your brother sound like the sober one," and
Yeah,
he's
that
also
was
saying
the
like
line I
Matt.
wrote down too.
Well, then the other one that's even worse that I also wrote down. I guess I wrote two lines down, and the other one was like, "You'll turn a blind eye to your brother and his issues just so you can ride his coattails for one last run."
Yeah, that
And
was a
it's
big
like
one too.
there's such a level of reality to that,
Yeah.
like, and it's just man, it just Christian is just fucking hitting home here, and it's just savage, and
And
it's excellent. It's just
the
excellent promo
crowd
work.
the crowd started chanting asshole so loud, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, in my opinion, I tweeted it out during the show, and I really feel this way. But I think, yeah, Christian Cage is the hottest thing in wrestling right now. Um, Luchasaurus, Ryan Davis saying it's giving him the Kane vibe. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
definitely see that.
I
I think Luchasaurus's new presentation is phenomenal. Like you said, I think Luchasaurus with Christian Cage makes the package better. But I also think that if you just had Christian Cage doing this, it would still be phenomenal. I mean, it's excellent work. I mean, I assume that we're gonna get Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy for a little bit here while Jungle Boy's out selling the injury and stuff like that. I think that it's gonna lead to a really big pop when Jungle Boy comes back. I wonder. Part of me wonders if they're gonna start moving towards bringing back the broken Matt Hardy gimmick
I'm almost certain that's what this is leading to.
because they've been doing a lot of promos since the Jeff Hardy thing happened, where Matt Hardy's really kind of down the dumps. He's beating himself up for it, and he's doing it again here tonight.
Yeah.
Um, and I just felt like that's where we're going with this, and I think it would be really cool to get a broken Matt versus Christian Cage like this feud.
Yeah, and you could see that like Christian was crossing the line big time with some of the stuff he was saying, like the two lines that you said. And you could tell it was almost like he was trying to break Matt. I wrote down, you know what I mean? And then he told Luchasaurus to put him through the table. So thank you, Christian Cage, for the shout out to the podcast tonight. Thank you very much. And yeah, Luchasaurus puts Matt Hardy through the table with a brutal choke slam. That's going up as Broken Table of the Week, probably right after this episode is over.
We gotta wait till Friday.
Well, you know.
Look, you gotta look. We are an establishment with integrity, and if you're not going to do your job, I'm gonna find someone that will do it for you.
My
So
job's to get as many views as I can, and people are going to want to see that spot tonight. So,
we want to be unbiased, though. What if there's a better table on Friday.
Okay, I can post it as a candidate for Broken Table of the Week. That would actually be not a bad idea. And then if we have another one, we can post that as well.
Yeah, that was a great idea that I just had.
It was. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Big T.
All hail King Rome. All right. So yeah, I loved this entire thing. I totally agree that this is probably one of the best things in wrestling right now. I think we're supposed to be looking at Luchasaurus like he is Kane. It really feels like that's what they're going for. I can't wait to see what they do. I hope they evolve Luchasaurus just a bit, give him like another character or not another character, give him another move of some sort. Everybody's doing the mist. I would like for him to do some sort of like poison mist, but too many people are doing that already. So.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think he should be doing that.
Nah, but something. All right. Do you want to take over the next one here?
Sure. So first of all, Big T. Why would you say something like that, Big T? I can't believe that you would say that. You're literally taking yourself out of the running for the Broken Tables Fan of the Week. That's quite a shame that you would say something like that. Also, the old man can't cut the mustard.
We're gonna Caesar him. We're gonna Caesar him.
You Caesar me, then this championship and the podcast dies, as far as I'm concerned. So like, he needs me. That's why he won't do it.
He's like, shh.
Anyways, so after that, we got a Blood and Guts recap, which was a really cool little quick video. It includes a little cut of the Matt Menard promo from yesterday night on the Road 2 show.
Yes.
If you haven't watched this promo, please do yourself a favor. After the podcast, after you're done watching or you're done listening, please go watch the Road 2 and watch this Matt Menard promo, because this Matt Menard promo was fucking phenomenal. It gave me chills. And again, this is just what happens when, instead of having a room full of writers, you let these guys go to their characters, which for most of these guys are extensions of themselves, and you let them come from the heart and be real.
Yep.
And like every time, like all these guys in AEW have these promos, right? Like it's just, it's just phenomenal. And then Big T in the chat saying that the meet and greets returned today. Yes, I pointed that out to Jeff. I literally texted him today, and I was like, stop whining. They've returned.
Yep. And that was like your dream meet and greet, man. Like basically the best friends in the Acclaimed. Wow.
Yeah, like that's like one like where like I would have spent all the money to go see that meet and greet.
Yeah.
I would have bought a ticket for all three of them, and Chris Statlander too, because she's like one of my two favorite women wrestlers. So I would have met all four of them. Like absolutely, I would have dropped the 200 or whatever would have been. Big T, I accept your apology. I think unfortunately, sir, you are probably out of the running of the Broken Predictions Fan of the Week. In fact, I've already chosen someone else this week. Please do better.
Yeah, the blood on Matt's face in that promo. I mean, if like Rome said, if you haven't seen it, it's 3 minutes of, oh my God, this guy Matt Menard showing you that he can cut a promo. And this is what I've been saying since the first day 2.0 came into AEW. You've heard me say it. Him and Cool Hand Luke, these dudes on the mic are just incredible. Whether they're on BTE or anywhere, man, it's just great.
Yeah, and Ryan Davis kind of doubling down on that too, saying he saw the promo this morning and he felt like he meant every word of it, and I feel like he did. You feel it. These guys cut these promos, and it's just, what can you say? It's just excellent. It's just excellent work from so many people in this company, and it's just, I'm a big promo guy, and AEW consistently hits home runs with promos. Very rarely do I come out of a promo not at the very least entertained.
Yep.
And this Matt Menard promo is just, dude, something
absolutely else. One thing I actually wrote down for this is, in this video package, I wrote badass music in this. Like, they, for whatever reason, man, they're stepping their game up with the music category here. I'm wondering if they're just letting Mikey Ruckus kind of like take over the whole music aspect of the show rather than just some of the entrances, because man, it's badass right now. I love it.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I mean, I one of WWE's greatest strengths is their ability to produce these high quality, really well made video vignettes. I mean, in recent years they've gotten a little bit worse. They've gotten worse,
They're
but I mean
terrible
that was
now.
always WWE's one of their strong suits. And if AEW can kind of match that, I think I would love it. That would be great. And they definitely did here. This was an excellent video package that we got.
Yeah.
Which led into a promo between Claudio and Jake Hager.
Yes.
Which again, some history there. And you almost felt it. Like the way Jake Hager was standing there, like in that very like we the people stance. Again, it's just the fact these guys have history and we just acknowledge things, and so like Claudio Jake Hager did a line on Claudio like you didn't make it as a world champion in WWE and now here you are, you're not going to amount to a world champion here either. And like I felt like I saw like Twitter kind of like blowing up because they mentioned WWE by name. I really appreciate them mentioning WWE by name because again, it's like respect your audience's intelligence.
Yeah.
These guys have history in WWE. Claudio Castagnoli was Cesaro at WWE. And it's just again, it's something that I really appreciate as a fan. Like things that matter to me is to feel respected. I stopped watching WWE because I didn't feel respected as a viewer or as a customer. AEW constantly makes me feel respected as a viewer and a customer. And again, like that was just what that was. So for me, it wasn't a gas moment, but it's just like it was more of like I really appreciate that type moment for me.
Yeah, I agree. I actually really enjoyed this because I miss those face-to-face meetings that like don't end in a brawl. Back in the day, like I like how NWA still kind of does it. Like they'll have a podium and a guy will walk up to the podium and he'll like say something, and then he'll step to the side and another guy will walk up to the podium and he'll say something. I kind of miss those types of interactions. So this is fairly close to that. I like this type of stuff.
Well, I think they do it in a really smart way because even Tony Schiavone mentions is that these guys both signed a contract to do this promo, a no altercation or whatever you want to call it, contract. And I think that that's a really smart way to book it because these guys would absolutely beat the shit out of each other, but they're not going to because they signed something that said that they won't.
Yeah, and Miyoja, their theme songs have been terrible as of late. Like when they come on, I can't tell you who it is. Juan had hit the nail on the head. Jim Johnson, once they got rid of him, or even CFO was okay. Like they made one of my favorite songs, the Shinsuke Nakamura Rising Sun. Like, but once they got rid of both of those people, like terrible.
Yeah, and kind of like what Maduga is saying is WWE theme songs nowadays are so generic, and it's what we've talked about where they don't want to let anyone get over. You know what I mean? Like Shinsuke Nakamura, his theme was over, and they were like, "Well, we don't want the theme to be over," so they added lyrics to it, so that way the fans couldn't hum it. You know what I mean? And it's just they're generic by design. They don't want anyone to be over. They don't want anyone to be the star. It's the logo. You like when you watch WWE, you are watching it for that logo, and that's not okay.
And that's something that I think they forgot about the pop. When you hear someone's music and you're like, holy shit, that's Kane, or holy shit, that's The Undertaker. Like, you knew who it was. Like when Triple H's music hit, the moment it hit, you knew who it was. Now, dude, there's like 3 people's music that can hit now. And I'm like, oh, I know that guy. Like it's,
yeah,
but whatever. All right.
Yeah, no,
so next up,
agree with you.
Go ahead.
So I completely agree with you. It reminds me of a story. This was a long time ago. I was at a SmackDown show, and I believe it was a SmackDown leading to, I want to say it was leading to the Royal Rumble or something like that. But so anyway, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who obviously wasn't with the company at that point, he was coming back, and Santino Marella was kind of like feuding with him. And again, I don't remember the context. I mean, someone, if they want to in the chat, let us know exactly what I'm recalling. But so what happened was that Santino was going to call out Steve Austin, and I think Kevin Owens ended up doing something very similar this past year because it's not original, I guess, at this point. But so what happened is that so Stone Cold's music hits, and not even the music, the glass hits, and people just blow the fuck up, right? And then it's fucking Santino in a bald cap. Again, the same thing Kevin Owens did last year. But it's like being in that live crowd, like we didn't even need to see Stone Cold. Like to point to credit to your point. We just had to hear the glass breaking and like the first riff of the guitar.
Yep.
And we were just like, "Oh shit, it's Stone Cold." And like they missed that. That pop is gone. They don't get that pop anymore.
Yeah, Bret Hart's freaking the guitar string, you know what I mean? And what did Juan ask there? Do you guys think Jake Hager and Cesaro will team up again? You know, it's funny that I completely forgot that they tag teamed up, you know, while they had this little bit of a face off. That would be interesting if like they did have a fight and, you know, but no, I don't see it happening for quite a while if it does, because, you know, they're part of two different factions.
If I had to make a guess, I would probably lean towards no. I mean, Jake Hager isn't really like, if he's not doing Jericho JAS stuff, like he's not really there. He's a member of the roster, and I don't consider him a part-timer, but at the same time, I don't consider him a weekly guy. So I don't see it happening. Ryan Davis saying Keith Lee's music was great in NXT, and they changed that horrible crap on the main roster.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's terrible with the cat. Bearcat. Oh Jesus!
Bearcat.
Yeah, I loved how they tried to say it was his idea because he was throwing homage to someone from the past, and then after he left, he was like, "Yeah, that was not my idea."
Yeah, it was stupid.
Oh, that was funny. All right, next up was the Butcher and the Blade versus Swerve in their glory. Swerve and Keith Lee. This was a very entertaining match. Great tag team match here. You know, Swerve and Lee were heavily in control of this match until the Bunny started interfering. She gave the Blade and Butcher a pretty decent advantage going towards the middle part of this match. At one point, the Blade, when he pulled Swerve into Keith Lee, that shoulder tackle that Keith Lee hit Swerve with, it like sent him into the ropes, and then he like sprung off the ropes and hit the mat. That was brutal looking, man. That looked awesome.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good physical back and forth match. I thought it was good. I definitely saw again the continuation of the tease that we're gonna see a breakup here. I don't know if you noticed it, but apart from Keith Lee accidentally hitting Swerve at the one point, they seemed like they were getting really physical, like not towards each other, but just in each other's presence. You know, like there were moments where like Keith Lee, like towards the finish, Keith Lee, I think it was the Blade. The Blade was hitting Swerve in the corner. Keith Lee squashed both of them in the corner.
Yes.
And then like shook Swerve off. Like, you good? Like, let's finish this. Like, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking too much into it. But at the same time, I do think a breakup's coming. Where it's just like, they seem like they were very like, I don't care if I hit you. I'm trying to win this match.
Yeah, I saw that too. It was very much like they were both trying to like, you know, establish being an alpha or something. You know what I mean? Like I definitely felt that.
Yeah.
And they honestly made me think they were going to lose. Also, I was like, oh, that's it. And, you know, they kicked out. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, especially because Butcher and Blade, Blade and Bunny are from Buffalo, so they're pretty close to their hometown. They did announce that AEW Dynamite was going to be coming to Buffalo September 7th, which is the post All Out show.
All right. So, Swerve and Lee get the finish. Like you said, Keith Lee kind of hit both of them up on the top rope, but he wound up picking up, who was it there? I think it was the Blade. Yeah, he wound up picking up Blade up on his shoulders. They hit their finisher, Swerve in their glory, and 1, 2, 3. And immediately Hobbs and Starks come out to interrupt their celebration. And they try to mention being the best tag team in the world after Starks cut an absolutely fire promo for about 30 seconds. Like, I was almost wondering if he was going off script or something, because he was like getting out of control.
Yeah, but the intensity is the word that you want to use. And again, like I don't want to sound like a beat a dead horse, sound like a broken drum. But like this is what I'm talking about. When you let these guys be themselves and just let them cut their promos, this is the kind of material you're gonna get. I loved Hobbs starting with the mic, which was a change. I laughed so hard when he called Swerve a trick ass bitch.
Yeah, same.
To answer Juan's question in the chat, who turns heel if they break up? Swerve does. I think Swerve turns heel. I think he's got that. He's got that in him.
Swerve for sure.
Yeah, Swerve for sure. And I do think they break up. I think they break up next week.
Yeah. And of course, if you mentioned the best tag team in the world, the Young Bucks are gonna show up because they believe that would be them whenever you put that conversation going on out there. So the Young Bucks come out, and immediately, man, there are FTR chants from that audience that were the loudest chants I think of the entire night, to be honest with you.
I don't think it was the entire night, but I see your point. Yeah, man. FTR's on a roll right now. They're definitely the tag team of the year currently. I mean, obviously, my favorite tag team of all time is not FTR, but I mean, I'll say this, that as great as this promo was, as great as this segment was, I don't think that adding the Young Bucks to this to make it a 3-way next week was the right idea.
Yeah.
I think that few reasons. Number one, I think that there's so much animosity between Team Taz and Swerve and Keith Lee. You don't need the titles. Now, that being said, I understand that next week is Fyter Fest, which is always a very big show for them. They had 2 titles on the line this week. It's safe to assume they're going to want to do a few title matches next week. We don't have anything else announced, but maybe we get like a TBS title or something else, but they wanted to do a tag team title match next week. They're doing a 3-way dance again. We've gotten 2 or 3 3-way dances for the tag titles in the last 2 months. So I'm not super jazzed about that, especially with the rules that they use. So I would have kept the Young Bucks out of this. I know they want to kind of put the Young Bucks on here to defend the titles, but I feel like a straight up 2-on-2, this would have been just fine. Especially with again the excellent mic work we're getting from everyone, the intensity, the fire. I would have kept the Young Bucks out of this. That's just me, but I mean, I also think that I could see the Young Bucks doing a storyline where they're kind of like dodging FTR over the summer. I mean, because again, they keep saying how FTR is the number 1 ranked tag team and they should be getting the shot. Like, I could see this as just that's the storyline where the Young Bucks are gonna they're gonna keep wrestling all these other tag teams so they can not wrestle FTR, and it's gonna catch up to them in September.
Yeah, and I see your point about not putting the Bucks into it, but I also am looking at it from Tony's point of ratings, and I definitely think the Bucks are gonna boost the ratings for the match. So
yeah, absolutely, no question. Again, like I said, I understand them wanting to put the tag titles on the show, and I understand the Bucks wanting to be on the show.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done it that way. I mean, you've already done a 3-way. This is your 3rd 3-way dance in a month and a half. And for the AEW tag titles, and 2 of these teams have been in those matches already, so it's
well, that's why I also believe that we may get the structure that we were hoping for in this 3-way. We may get the 3 men in the ring because, like you said, we've had 2 in a row already this month or within a month. I think if we get the 3 men in the ring to start off, I think it would make it a different match and it would feel differently. So, yeah, everybody's having this FTR debate in the chat here. Yeah, I think FTR is having one of the best years of any tag team in modern history, honestly. But yeah, I got FTR, Bucks, Steiners. Yeah, that's my top 3.
That's a good question. I'd have to really sit down and think about it, but I will say that in terms of straight up tag teams, I'm gonna have to go Bucks number 1.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a very debatable. Very debatable.
Again, the line that Nick dropped, it's like, oh, you guys had an awesome match. You guys got a 4.5 stars. That's us on a bad
off
night.
Day. Wow, that was so good.
It's true, man. Like, they're just, again, like, in my opinion, the Young Bucks are the best tag team of all time, period. Big T asking me, when the hell is Punk coming back? I can't wait till September. Me neither, man. I think that Punk's coming back just in time for All Out.
Yeah, should be September.
I do expect him to come back early September. I mean, All Out September 4th. Arthur Ashe at Grand Slam is, I believe, what, the end of September, middle of September, the 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's the 22nd.
So I mean, there's some big shows. The big month for the company. I do think Punk's gonna be back before then. Obviously, I don't know anything. I'm just going off of kind of the vibe. So that's kind of what I think. I think that we're gonna get Punk. I think we're gonna see Punk in late August. He'll come back. He'll build up for a match against Mox at All Out. Especially because All Out's in Chicago. Like, I mean, like how many times are we gonna get a big CM Punk return in Chicago? As many as they fucking want.
Yeah, I think if he's not ready at All Out in Chicago, we're at least gonna see him there. But I have a feeling he'll be ready. He's already off of crutches for, I believe, a full week already. I'm I'm no doctor, but I'm really sure we're gonna see him at All Out one way or another. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think if he's ready to go by All Out, the main event of All Out is Mox versus Punk. If he's not ready to go by All Out,
your favorite tag team is Too Cool. Scotty Too Hottie.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair, if you were asking me my favorite tag teams of all time, I would say like I still love the Young Bucks. I don't know if it trumps them or not, but in terms of like my favorite tag teams, like I would include Triple H and Shawn Michaels in that group. They weren't even like an all around like tag team, but that DX tag team, they would make my list.
That Triple H tag team with Shawn Michaels against Batista and I believe it's Ric Flair, or no, it was Randy Orton and Ric Flair, where Triple H takes the boot to the face and he just stands there for like a minute selling it, and then he finally falls down. That's one of my favorite moments in wrestling history. It was great.
So yeah, I think about like hot summers with hot teams and stuff like that, and like FTR is on a roll right now. But it cannot be understated that if you go back to 2006, that when DX got back together and Triple H and Shawn Michaels, that summer, week in and week out, is probably some of the best TV WWE's ever put out, in my opinion.
For sure.
Those DX versus the McMahons versus the Spirit Squad versus, I think Umaga had a few things in there. Like all in all, like that's like for me, that was excellent stuff that I really loved.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next up was a House of Black, Malachi Black cutting a promo on basically on Brody Lee, talking about his monster, hyping him up for the match later tonight. You know, this did its job, made me excited for the match. And then next up after that was Eddie Kingston in the ring with Tony Schiavone. And Eddie started to, he congratulated Wardlow first. And then he started to cut a promo and immediately was interrupted by Chris Jericho with some sports entertainment, which we know Eddie hates so much. So I thought this was actually kind of funny that Eddie was part of this. They cut to a promo backstage of Jericho talking, and you could audibly hear Ty Conti beating someone up. I immediately knew that it was Ruby Soho. But I did not think that they were going to smash Ruby's arm into the SUV car door. And I don't know how they faked that or worked that, but that looked nasty. That looked like she really slammed her arm in that door, man.
Yeah, man, it looked great. And just for a second, Ryan Davis. So here's the thing. I didn't say best tag team. I was talking about like favorite tag teams. Like I was trying to decide whether I would say the Young Bucks are my favorite and the best. But I was saying that like Triple H and Shawn Michaels was a favorite for me because they're two of my favorite WWE guys.
Yeah, Midnight Express. Midnight Express were awesome when I was a kid. I used to love them.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't old enough to really watch the Midnight
I know.
Express.
Yeah, you know.
All right,
so yeah, Ruby Soho. I don't know if we wrote her off of TV a little bit here or what, but that was definitely a slam in a car door. Pretty much.
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent segment. I think that it's like man, like we're not done with Jericho and Kingston, and the fact that the Blood and Guts match isn't the blow off match, it really has to tell you something where they're going here. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe again, I do this sometimes. I go off on these little fantasy bookings, but do you think they're gonna do like a Jericho Kingston death match?
Wow,
like, that's where this is going, right? It has to be going somewhere where they're gonna be bloody as fuck.
I think it's gonna be like some sort of like New York street fight or something, man. Arthur Ashe, it's gonna be in Queens.
I just so here's the thing. Well, yes, I do think that's where they do the match. But well, no, maybe not, because again, we still have another like 3 months to go. This storyline's been going on for 6 months, and it is still extremely captivating, and it doesn't feel like we're even close to being resolved.
Yeah, I
And it's
agree.
just like you listen to the Matt Menard promo, you listen to the Angelo Parker promo from last night, and it's just like these guys are like, we're not fucking done. Like, you didn't get the satisfaction of beating us. Like, I tapped out, but like Chris didn't tap out, Chris didn't bleed, and it's just like, I don't know if you do just a street fight, because here's the thing: look at the matches that they've done. They've done Anarchy in the Arena, and they've done Blood and Guts, and like both of these matches were extremely bloody. So Jericho did a death match with Nick Gage last year. Part of me wonders, is that what they're going for here? Are they going to do Kingston versus Jericho in a death match? I don't know what other match would do it justice at this point. Like Ryan Davis saying, how do you top Blood and Guts? And that's what I'm saying, though. It's like, because that's the question. How are they going to, in a singles match, top Blood and Guts?
You just do Blood and Guts between the two of them somehow.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think they do a cage match, because a cage match, while it can be bloody, it doesn't always, like, it's not a bloody match. Like, they want a bloody match. They keep talking about blood. Kingston's like, I want to drink Jericho's blood. That is how I know that I've succeeded.
It's going to be a first blood match.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
could be a dog collar match. AEW does like those.
I could see a dog collar. So what I'm saying, what I'm asking,
Big T said it at the same time.
Do you think a death match is out of the question? Is that what I'm at?
No, I don't think it's out of the question at all, because we've already had one with Jericho. So yeah, right. I don't think so at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that's where we're going. I don't think we're gonna do another exploding barbed wire death match, unless we had some sort of like guarantee that it was gonna be like actually good. Well, not that the match was bad. That was a really good match. It's just the explosion was not good.
Yeah, I think they're gonna, they might do something with the city. We'll see, but yeah, it'll be something crazy. So next up, the Dark Order came out, the full Dark Order with Anna Jay. So we had Anna Jay, -1, 10, Uno, Silver, and Reynolds. And I see a look on your face that I don't like already.
Well, so I have two trains of thought that I wrote down. Do you want me to go the positive route first, or you want me to go the negative route first? Because I really did, like, afterwards, like, depending on what they do, like, I had two trains of thought. All
right, well, let me just... So I'm going to continue mine first, and then we'll let you go, because
sure.
I actually teared up during this, to be honest with you. Like, I had to wipe away a tear. It was kind of crazy. I was not expecting it at all.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So when Uno said the 6 of us are here to stay, dude, I was like, oh, like I got goosebumps. I teared up, and the number 6 really, really stuck out for me, because you've made it a point to show me that Wyndham trademarked Wyndham 6.
Wyatt 6.
Wyatt 6. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean, dude, also mentioning this in the chat, and again, I'm gonna let you go. I have things to say, but you go.
Yes. So I mean, I was freaking out here. I literally teared up just because I was kind of worried that they were gonna like straight up break up and most of these people were gonna be gone. But the way Uno said the 6 of us are here to stay, and immediately had the Wyatt 6 vibes coming from it. I really, really enjoyed this, until QT Marshall came out, of course, but it was decent. QT Marshall comes out, tries to get -1 to have a match with him or something is what I got from that, but Hangman comes out, kicks QT Marshall's ass. They throw him in the ring. QT gets his ass kicked by everybody in the Dark Order. And, -1 says, I could pin you right now, but I'm going to do it when I'm 18. So I enjoyed this. The crowd, Hangman got a huge pop when he showed up. Huge cowboy shit pop, and I hope this is the beginning of the Wyatt 6, man. I really hope this is the beginning of it.
Okay, so that So what do you want me to start with? You want me to start with the positive outlook or the negative outlook?
Start with the negative one.
Okay. The negative outlook.
Negative one.
Okay. So if they don't go with the positive outlook, which we'll discuss afterward, if they go the negative route and they do, and this is just them being the Dark Order in Rochester. Number one, I love -1. I love Brody Jr. And I feel like I've become like a Brody Jr. hater. But like, god damn it, if this kid hasn't ruined the Dark Order. Like, okay.
Only because he's
Brody
the
Lee-
leader. He shouldn't have become the leader.
Exactly. Brody Lee is a fucking legend. And rest in peace. And yes, in that aspect, I was also like, it's really cool for the Dark Order to come out and do this. But you know what would be even cooler for the Dark Order and would be even a better homage to Brody Lee? If the Dark Order was fucking doing things that mattered week in and week out to begin with. Like, I texted you earlier today and I was like, if the Dark Order is not on TV tonight, they're just fucking dead to me. And going negatively, they're fucking dead to me regardless. Because it's just like, I don't know, like what are we doing here? Because it's like, okay, so like they're staying together. Again, this is going negative. There's two ways to go with it. I'm going negative first. Like, oh, we're staying together forever. We're never gonna change. And I'm like, great. So you're gonna be on Dark and Elevation next week.
Forever.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Like, are they gonna like still be doing this when Brody's 18 and he comes out and that's when they finally turn heel, or even like anything at all? Like, again, like the Dark Order doing nothing and being stagnant has led to Alan Angels leaving, has led to Stu Grayson leaving. They both thought they were worth more money, but based off their position in the company, they weren't, because it's true, Dark Order wasn't doing anything. So it's very, it's just the Dark Order sucks. Like, they're hot, they're over, but they don't do anything every week. They're just the jobber babyface team on Dark and Elevation on YouTube. And I don't want to devalue the YouTube show, because I do think that there's very good value of the YouTube show. I'm not devaluing it, but it's just like they're not doing anything meaningful. They live on Dark and Elevation, and that's where it becomes a problem, is if you're living on Dark and Elevation.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it, Ryan. Like, there could have been another segment here, but this is the one show of the year that this segment's going to be there. You should have expected Dark Order to have something. I actually did expect some sort of a match, but I'm telling you guys, the way he said the six of us, there's something to that. They don't throw little things like that at you for no reason. So I think we have something really awesome to look forward to after this. So go ahead with your positive one.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Also on the negative side, god damn it if I didn't agree with everything QT said. He came out, he's like, Brody's a legend. But like, are we going to be kissing this kid's ass until he's 18? And I'm sitting there like, you go QT, tell him.
That was them acknowledging that some of us feel that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And I appreciate that they did that. But it's just like, man, again, like, this is the negative realm. We're gonna get into the positive, and it'll be better. But it's just like, man, if this doesn't lead to Wyndham, fuck this, man. I'm so over this. Like, you're doing a disservice to Brody at this point, because it's just like, you're not doing anything. You're just not doing anything at all. And okay, well, you're not doing anything.
I mean, like I do agree that they didn't actually do anything for Brody in this one, but dude, like, me being a giant Dark Order fan, I mean, you guys see all the Dark Order stuff. Like, I teared up when he said the six of us are here to stay. So, I mean, the segment definitely hit the target of where it was aimed at. I can tell you that much.
I get it, but at the same time, if the Dark Order was so strong and powerful, where is Stu and Alan Angels?
True. I mean, we did have to trim the fat, though. Like you said, they were getting stale. It's not like we can keep all of them. If you're
referring to Stu Grayson as the fat of the Dark Order,
I think Stu. No. I think Stu pushed himself out. I think Alan, and I don't know if Colt Cabana's gone yet, but it feels like he's gone. Like,
so there was actually some reports on Colt Cabana today from Fightful. It was reported that Colt wasn't expected to re-sign with the company, but apparently a lot of people kind of stood up for him, and they were talking about how much they loved having him in the company. And so apparently he did re-sign, and it will be for Ring of Honor more so, most likely. Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of the vibe. And is that he wasn't going to get re-signed, but a lot of people begged for him to get re-signed, so he's very popular backstage, apparently.
Yeah. And I don't know if you heard, Alan Angels was on the recent taping of Impact, so
Yeah, he gets an X Division title shot tomorrow, I think.
I think he actually fits there well. It's I was happy to see that actually.
Yeah, yeah. Best of luck to him. I mean, I don't really watch Impact. It's very low on my priority to watch Impact, but best luck to him. All right,
Yeah.
positive. Positive. The negative is over. Although the negative can come back depending on what they do.
For sure.
The positive is my eyes when this motherfucker said, "This is a new chapter for the Dark Order. The 6 of us are here." I was like, "Oh, oh man. Is this it? Are we doing it?" They didn't do it tonight. But positive Rome will say this, that yes, if this is them getting Wyndham in here, because they said the 6, you get rid of -1 and you put Wyndham there, and there's 6 of them. I don't know. I think that going positive, it's definitely a possibility. That being said, I'm not going to get my hopes up still. I'm not going to do that to myself because last time I felt so sure about this, one of my favorites of all time became one of my least favorites of all time. So I don't want to do this again. So I'm going to sit here. I'm going to be optimistic. You are going to get positive, Rome, where it's, they could definitely do this, and I could definitely see this being the way that they go.
Is this a let it play out type situation?
This is a let it play out type situation. That's why I wrote down I wanted to share both of my feelings, because where we go from here is the Rome that you're going to see moving forward. You're going to see if they don't do anything and they go back to just doing this fucking dark elevation tour where they're just wrestling the factory on elevation, then absolutely you're going to get negative Rome again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to shit on the Dark Order because we've talked about this many times, and I know you're a big Dark Order fan. If they're not going to do anything with the Dark Order, then just fuck it. It's so stale to a point of it's just obscene. It's just ridiculous.
I agree.
It's absurd how stale the Dark Order is. And
if this doesn't lead to something good, I'm completely with you. Absolutely.
Again, and I understand that it's they're over with the crowd still, and that's excellent. That's great. That really says to you, really how over these guys are and how talented these guys are. Which wouldn't that give you more reason to do something with them? Anything.
We're hoping and praying, Ryan. That's all. Just hoping and praying, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, again, negative Rome, that's kind of where I'm at with that, is well, it just sounds to me like same old shit. So again, we'll see. But if they start doing more things, and I also, a reason to be optimistic is when Hangman came out, I wonder if maybe that was why. Maybe again, this is positive Rome, but Hangman, though he's an honorary member of the Dark Order, he didn't really he wasn't part of the Dark Order while Brody was alive. So part of me wonders maybe this is Adam Page versus Wyndham.
Yeah, that'd be a great first match. Holy shit.
Right. And again, this is positive me fantasy booking it. I am not going to freak out yet. I'm not going to get my hopes up yet. I'm going to wait and see. I hope that's the route they go. I will be extremely happy. I will sit here on the podcast wearing a Bray Wyatt shirt because the Wyndham shirt won't be in yet, but I will sit here and I will be very happy and talk very positively. But until then, I'm going neutral. I've told you how I feel negatively, and I told you how I feel positively. Where I go with the Dark Order is 100% on AEW.
Yep, I'm with you on that. All right, so next up, Jim Ross came out for the second hour of AEW Dynamite here. I kind of enjoy. I didn't even realize he wasn't there. I do enjoy the way that they're kind of giving him less time on there. It feels weird to say I enjoyed that he's getting less time. I don't really mean it like that, but I like how he just comes out for certain, the second half or something like that. I like that.
Well, he's not getting less time. They're just using him on Rampage. He's still getting 2 hours.
Okay.
I actually think that that's better. I think more so the plan is, I feel like the move is more so for Rampage's sake, because Rampage did some pretty bad numbers a few weeks back. So I think they're just trying something new. I don't think there's any real reason for this. I think that they just want JR to do Rampage and they want him to do 2 hours a week.
And I think they like Taz on Dynamite because Taz does a great job on Dynamite too.
Oh yeah, I think that I do think that the team of Taz and Excalibur and Shivani are just the way to go.
Yeah, Taz and Excalibur are like just really good chemistry.
Yeah, absolutely. I love those guys. Those guys on Dark every week. Dark is like, you can almost like listen to Dark as a podcast. It's so good. The just the conversation there.
Oh yeah, you just noticed I got the entrance tunnels up there. If you look real close right here, Bray is lurking in the back.
Yeah, well, hopefully he gets brought to light.
All right. So next up was our match between Penta Oscuro versus Rush El Toro Blanco. Wow, dude, this was a badass match. These guys kicked the crap out of each other for like, I don't know how long it was, but it felt like 15 minutes.
Yeah, man, this is a really hard-hitting match. It was the first time I've seen Rush wrestle.
Me too.
I really enjoyed the match. I do have a critique about the end of the match, but overall, I think it was a very hard-hitting match that was very enjoyable.
Yeah, go ahead with your critique of the ending there, because I was just kind of like, I was left like, that was the end, but what do you got for the end there?
I want them to be very careful and very wary of the mask finish.
Same.
Or the unmasking finish, because my thing was like when the Young Bucks beat the Lucha Bros a few weeks ago in LA, I guess it was a month ago on Rampage, they did the same thing. And I don't want it to be every time Penta needs to lose clean, or not lose clean, but lose a match and get pinned, they have this mask thing.
Yeah.
It's very heel shit, and it's excellent heel shit. But if you do it every single time Penta loses a match, it's going to lose its value. So I liked the match a lot, and I'm okay with Rush winning. I mean, actually, Rush winning is the right way to go.
Yeah.
I just probably would have done something different because I don't want that finish to be something that they use too much.
I completely agree, because in the world of lucha, that is like the ultimate disrespect. Like that's way worse than kicking someone in the nuts or interfering or anything like that. Like that's the ultimate no type thing.
Right.
And to just do that a bunch of times just feels weird to me, and it's like like I almost feel like other companies would look at AEW like, dude, stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It feels weird.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just don't do it too much. You can do it because again, like you said, in Mexico, in Mexican promotions, in AAA and probably CML and whatever other in Mexico in general, it's just that's a mortal sin. You get disqualified for that on spot, on site, and it's just like I don't want them to do it too often. Don't do it every time Penta needs to lose.
Yeah, and you know, he hit him with he stole the mask and hit him with a low blow, so it was like a double whammy of I'm a heel. Yeah. So yeah, that was your finish there. A little bit of a rough finish, but I mean, if we're establishing Rush as a mega heel, then there we go. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, but great match nonetheless. These guys beat the crap out of each other. So next up was a Ring of Honor promo advising that Samoa Joe has agreed to a match with Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor TV Championship at Death Before Dishonor. We got to hear Satnam Singh say new champion or next champion, I think it was. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought this was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. Did what it needed to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up was one of my favorite promos of the night. Mark Sterling with Tony Nese and Danhausen and the Best Friends. I just absolutely love the way that Danhausen was trying to like be the judge, and he was like objection and sustained, overruled.
Well, the joke was that he was Orange Cassidy's lawyer, and he was just throwing out legal mumbo jumbo. And Mark Sterling, this is a hilarious segment. Real quick though, I just want to Ryan Davis in the chat saying that the show overall presentation was better formatted tonight. He doesn't know, but maybe he's just glad Forbidden Door is over. We talked about that a lot last few weeks. I completely agree with you, Ryan. Once Forbidden Door ended, I feel like this show and the company really got back on track, and we're doing some really, really good shows.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, that new camera, I believe, I'm almost positive that's a new camera equipment because it felt crisper. The lighting was much better in the arena. I noticed it right away, Ryan. I thought the same thing. The whole overall presentation was better.
Yeah, it just in general was really good.
Yep.
Back to the promo though, or the segment. Yeah, this was awesome. I thought it was great having Orange Cassidy with Danhausen as his lawyer, best friend still in the rainbow tracksuits.
I believe those are
And
for
again,
sale.
Mark Sterling just trying to get people to sign this goddamn petition to get rid of Swerve, and just the legal slang and just everything leads to a match on Rampage on Friday, and this was a really fun segment, and
Yeah,
I was cracking up.
I thought it was great.
Now, I will say this: we're gonna have to have a moment of silence for the next segment, though.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna put on the glasses. These aren't the heel glasses right now. Pretend these are a different pair. This is the Rome at a funeral.
This is to hide
glasses.
his tears.
This
So
this may
next
be one
up
of the...
was the Acclaimed and the Gun Club versus I forget the guy's full name, but I call him Ruff, with Bear
Roughing It.
Country and Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, they're called Roughing It.
Yeah, Roughing It. There we go. So right off the bat, we were about to get an amazing, another greatest rap of all time by Max Caster, and Austin Gunn steals the mic and steals our hearts.
So, let me start with this. This was fucking beautiful. This was excellent. This was so good, and it's such a heel thing. I'm so glad that the Acclaimed are baby faces now, because that officially after tonight they are.
Yeah.
Like I felt like that was almost a test, because obviously the Raps are so over, and Max Caster and the Acclaimed are so over, that like Austin Gunn taking the mic, instant nuclear heat.
Miaja,
And
I would venture that Rome might be right there with you.
I was, and we'll talk about it. So, again, like him taking the mic and not letting Max do the rap, that was the first indication where I was like, oh, shit's gonna go down tonight, isn't it? And it was very like, that's a really good heel thing to do, and the fact that the crowd reacted the way it was, and everything was reacted to the way it was supposed to, like, it just shows you that they did a great job with this story. And yeah, for me, I was like, my initial thought was, I got excited. Max Caster came out. I always turn the volume up because I want to hear the rap. I turned it up, and he stole the mic from him. And the first thing that happened, I was like, "Fuck you!" I was so mad. They worked me. I got worked.
Oh, yeah.
I was so mad that Max Caster was not rapping tonight, and that Austin Gunn had taken the mic from Caster. That I was like, "No, this is unacceptable."
I thought that was what was going to happen to you too.
Yeah, and then we get this match, and it's nothing crazy. It's a squash match where Max hits his elbow off the top rope, the mic drop, and Austin tags himself in, blind tag, and steals the win. At that point, the Acclaimed are kind of talking to the Gun Club. The Gun Club start beating down the Acclaimed. Billy Gunn comes in, and like, I don't think I really thought that Billy Gunn was going to stay with the Acclaimed, but god damn it. So like, he goes in there and he starts beating them up. He hits Caster, and then he goes to like Anthony Bowens. He gets up and he's like, "Scissor me, daddy ass," and Billy Gunn, he fucking kills him. And I was just like, God damn it!
So
because it's like, ugh,
this was so perfect, but I had one small problem in the match itself.
Okay.
So on Dark, they had Bear Country dominate a tag match and look really, really good doing it. And I was like, yes, let's push Bear Country. Bring them up to Dynamite. I want another dominant tag team. And I thought that's what I was going to get here tonight with Bear Bronson got in the ring, and he looked really good in the, 30 seconds that they gave him. But my problem is that he took the pin and not that skinny rough guy. I'm like, you're building Bear Country on Dark to look good, and then you pin him here. It annoyed me a little bit, just,
Well, so let me explain to you why they did that. They did that because they still wanted it to be credible that Max Caster beat that guy. Like, because Max and Bowens, Caster and Bowens are the ones that really do the work here.
Yeah.
So like, as they're about to turn face, you want them to get a credible win here. You want them to take out one of the big guys on Bear Country. Like, that's what you want them to do. You don't want them to take, like, the heel way to go would be to focus on Ruff and just fuck him up. So instead, they don't care. They're gonna fight whoever they fight. They're going babyface.
Yeah.
So that's that. To me, that's the reasoning. And also, they give Bear Country the win because they make it to Dynamite.
Yeah. And I just think because I was excited seeing Bear Country look good on Dark, so seeing this was like,
Sure.
oh.
Yeah, no, I get it. I completely agree with Ryan here. He's saying that these teams are the future
Are
of
the
tag
future,
team wrestling.
absolutely.
I 1,000,000% agree with you. This was an excellent segment, both in a sense that, like, I was worked the way that I was supposed to felt the whole time, legitimately. I remember my wife and I would share this laptop because my laptop is old and I need to get a new one. And so I went to go grab this laptop to get ready to do the show. And she's like, "Are you all right? What's wrong?" And I was like, "There's not ever going to be another scissor me daddy ass ever again." Like, these bastards. and she's like, damn, because she knows a little bit. She doesn't really like wrestling that much, but she likes the characters and stuff, so she knows like everybody. And she's like, damn, they really broke up. And I was like, yeah, they did.
Yeah. And that would have been good if they had made a rap on Max after the match. I would have liked that.
I think they'll do that in the future. You don't have to do it tonight. I think not doing it tonight is the smart way to go, because you let your actions speak tonight, and then in the future you can cut a promo and you could do like a rap. You know what I mean? I think that doing a rap tonight would have made it less perfect. I think that what they did tonight was perfect. From Austin taking the mic at the beginning, to Austin stealing the pin, to the whole beatdown at the end. The Acclaimed are now baby faces. I'm so excited for that. And yeah, man, it's awesome. And again, that's just there was actually a really fun tidbit about the Acclaimed and how they came to be. You want me to tell the story a little bit real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So Anthony Bowens was on Jericho's podcast, and I do have to listen to the whole podcast. But so what Bowens said was, so he worked a dark show back during the pandemic at Daly's Place. He worked in AEW Dark. Back then they were doing these in bunches because of like shutdowns and stuff. So they did like a 6-hour shoot, and they did like a month's worth of dark shows or whatever it was. And so Bowens had done one match with them. He gets a call from NXT, and they're like, "We want you to talk to Regal and maybe bring you in." And Bowens is like, "Yeah, sure, no problem," because he didn't think he was going to get signed with AEW. Well, so a few days later, before he goes to talk to NXT, Anthony Bowens gets a call from Tony Khan. He's like, "Hey, I want you to come in. I want you to come and meet with me. I want to talk to you about this idea I have." And so Bowens shows up. Caster's there too. They both get in the elevator to go up to Tony Khan's office. And they're like, he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm here to talk to Tony Khan." And Caster's like, "That's crazy. That's why I'm here to talk to Tony Khan." And so they figured out that they were both there to talk to Tony at the same time. They get in there, and Tony Khan's like, "I have this idea. I want to put you guys together as a tag team, call you guys the Acclaimed." And Bowens is like, "Well, I just kind of said yes to NXT. Are you guaranteeing right now that you want to use me? Like, you haven't even given us a match." And he's like, "No, dude, trust me. Like, go out there one time and we'll see what happens." And they do it. They do the team, and it works out so well that Tony, Bowen said they came backstage to Gorilla, and Tony's like, thumbs up. He's like, "This was awesome. You guys are gonna work out." And he ended up not going to NXT.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, if you would have gone to NXT, he would be buried in some rainbow garbage right now that I couldn't even imagine what they would have him doing.
He would, and he said that he's like extremely happy that it worked out because he was more interested in AEW than going to NXT, but he just wasn't sure if they were going to sign him at AEW, so he was going to have to jump on the opportunity. But when Tony Khan was like, "No, if you stay here, we'll use you," he was like, "This is where I want to be, so let's do that."
So Miyaja has one of the greatest ideas I think I have ever heard.
Okay.
A rap battle between the Ass Boys and the Acclaimed. And I think what should be on the line is the winner, or if the Gun Club lose, they have to acknowledge themselves from this point forward as the Ass Boys. And they will start using the Danhausen song and everything.
See, the problem with that, the reason I don't want them to do that is that at that point you lose the appeal of the Ass Boys.
I mean, I think it's been long enough, though. We're almost going up on a year now where Danhausen's been doing this, the Ass Boys thing. I think at one point they have to embrace it and use the song as their entrance.
Maybe if they turn babyface, but not as heels.
No, not as heels. I'm thinking make this go a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months with the Acclaimed. And, the culmination of this story could be this rap battle or whatever. And, if they lose, they have to become the Ass Boys. And then we could scissor daddy ass again. I think it could happen.
No, I mean, I hear you. I don't know if that's the way that it would make sense to go. I mean, by doing this, like, yes, you turn the Acclaimed face, but you double down on the Gun Club being heels. Yeah. So I don't know if it would necessarily make sense to, even after one feud, like, all right, well, they're going to start being baby faces again because they embrace the Ass Boy name. Like, as heels, I don't think it would work for them to embrace Ass Boys. As baby faces, sure, but again, I don't know if that would be the time to do it.
I got you. All right, so next up was a Miro promo on Malachi. Was a great promo by Miro. What you should have taken from this is that he is very angry. He said he is enraged. So somebody's going to have a bad day. Right?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because clearly we're going towards a Miro Malachi Black feud. Which I think is interesting in the sense that I don't know who loses that feud. I think both guys are kind of in need of a win. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe they trade some wins.
That's the same thing that happened on NXT with the D'Angelo family. Say what? I don't watch NXT at all, so you're going to have to explain that one, Juan.
Yep. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm sure Miro versus Malachi Black is going to be a great match. But we'll see how
I agree.
Yeah.
Next up was, oddly enough, one of my favorite matches of the night. Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir versus Thunderstorm. Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa. And I wrote it down again, man. I'm going to say it for a while. Give these girls the women's tag team belts, because I did not think that you could make Marina Shafir, look great. And tonight, she took a good half of this match in the ring. They controlled Marina Shafir, and I thought this was great. I thought this was one of the best female tag team matches I've seen in a while. Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm looked great. I'm telling you, give these girls the tag belts and, they'll make the division.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I thought this was a great match. I thought that the team of Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm was awesome. I really liked how Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir came out with umbrellas because they're Thunderstorm.
Oh, dude, how about their gear? The gray snake skin. Oh, looks so good.
Yeah, I thought it was great. But so, like, I loved Thunderstorm. I think that's a great tag team. I agree with you. I think there's a lot of women tag teams right now. Maybe you can do a women's tag team championship soon. I thought that Nyla Rose, as always, is just consistently phenomenal. And Ryan Davis just kind of took the words out of my mouth. Yep. I thought Shafir looked better. Still green, but there was definitely a few moments where I was like, okay, I see that we're improving. And at the end of the day, that's what matters most is, are you improving? And that definitely happened tonight too. So yeah, absolutely. Great match. Everyone came out looking great, and cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I could say. Everybody came out looking great. I don't think there was anybody you could pick on in this match to say they looked bad or did any, anything that wasn't great. So, what you got, Big T? They officially announced the women tag team titles: Thunderstorm versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. What?
Oh, they should announce. He said they should announce. I was gonna say, I was literally picking up my phone to go on Twitter right now. Like, I didn't. They definitely.
I was like, holy shit, Big T! What? They're gonna do something. There'll be a tournament. Tony Khan loves his tournaments. I'm almost sure that there'll be a women's tag team tournament, especially because the WWE was supposed to have one and they didn't. They're like, oh, that's on hold. But yeah, I mean, Not enough women on the roster and less good women wrestlers at that. I'm telling you, with Thunder Rosa and her as the champions, they could make each one of these matches look good. I'm in. I'm in, Juan. I'm telling you. I think they might surprise you. So next up was Stokely and Jade with who is that? Kiera Hogan. And Stokely is absolutely fire on the mic here, man. He basically explains to Jade how Layla Gray fits into the baddies as a interim baddie. I love how they're using the interim thing here as well.
Yeah, I thought it was super clever.
Yeah.
And man, I think Layla's gonna fit right in. I mean, she definitely
looked
had
good.
that attitude to her. She looked good.
Yeah.
Definitely had the attitude that you need to have to be in that faction, and we'll see where we go. Again, it's intriguing television. I like the dynamic of it, where it's like Jade is gonna have to put up with her because she's there. Is Jade gonna end up liking her? I also like that Jade's kind of like, if this doesn't work, it's on you, Stokely. Yeah. Again, really awesome dynamic from everybody.
Yeah, really good, really good. I'm interested to see what Layla Gray does here, but she looked great standing there. And Stokely, I think I said it already. He is fire on the mic. Stokely was a great addition to this roster.
And I also really enjoyed that Layla Gray also does not like Stokely Hathaway. Because he's putting his shoulder on her, and he's trying to fist bump her, and she's just not having it. So it's really ironic because she totally fits in with the baddies. But Jade and Kiera Hogan are just we don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the dynamic there.
Yep. All right. Next up was Daniel Garcia cutting a promo on Wheeler Yuta, who is one of my favorite at the moment. So curse you, Daniel Garcia. But great promo by Daniel Garcia here. I can't wait to see these two go at it for that Ring of Honor Pure Championship. That's going to be fantastic.
That match is going to be a banger.
Absolutely. It might steal the show that night, but now that FTR and the Briscoes are a thing again, probably going to be another 5-star match there.
Well, so we're low key, and we're going to talk about it a little bit because I do have what's announced so far written down. We're low key heading into a very, very good pay-per-view from Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
so everyone's aware.
Which we will be covering, by the way.
What was it?
We will be covering that, by the way.
Yeah, you're coming over for it, right?
Sure, yeah, if you're doing it, absolutely.
Absolutely.
This might be one that if they do in the theaters, I might do this one in a theater, but we'll see which way happens.
Maybe. I don't know if they're going to do the Ring of Honor ones in the theater.
We'll see.
All right, Ryan, thanks for hanging out, man. Have a good night. Hope we see you on Friday for our post Rampage show.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Have a good one, man. All right, next up.
Big T is super lucky going to this Death Before Dishonor show.
Yeah, where is that? Down in Massachusetts?
It's in Massachusetts. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's not far.
I thought about it. I didn't text you, but I remember looking at it and I was like, tickets starting at $30, 4-hour drive.
It's only 4 hours.
I think I looked it up. If you look up the arena from my house, I think it was 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. We might have to do that. And yes, Big T, I got you right here.
Yeah, let him know. We'll talk about it, Jeff, because I'm interested. I'm not 100%. I would want to talk to the wife and stuff. But we can definitely talk about it. I think tickets go on sale Friday we gotta look it up. We'll look it up.
We'll definitely figure that out for sure.
Maybe a meet up with Big T's in the cards. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be sick. We'll get you on, Big T. All right, next up was a FTR promo, 7-star FTR, by the way. Basically challenging the Briscoes to a match at Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view, man. That's if there was a match that they were going to throw on there to get me to go see this, to drive down there, that's going to be it. Holy shit, I can't wait to see that again.
Yeah. It's going to be a really awesome match, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. All right, and next up was the main event for the interim AEW World Heavyweight Championship with Jon Moxley versus Brody King. And when Brody King's the lights go dim and it goes dark, they mentioned, I think Regal's here with us, isn't he? And then he just came out of nowhere and in the dark and was like, Hello, fellas. I
Well,
thought
so
that was
here's the thing.
hilarious. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it was great.
So here's something that I will say, and I appreciate Regal for understanding it, and it's a critique that I would like to give to the rest of the AEW announce team, not just JR. JR does it, but they all do it. Is there are times where I need the announcers to just shut up.
Yep.
And the Brody King, the House of Black entrance is one of those times. And Regal, that like you picked it up as it being funny. I picked it up as Regal trying to let this guy get over because JR's like he's talking over this entrance, which is a
Yeah.
very serious toned entrance. And like it would be like and again, WWE doesn't always do it right. They don't always know when to shut up either. But like when Bray Wyatt had his entrance, they wouldn't talk for like the first 40 seconds of Bray Wyatt's entrance. And AEW needs to respect these entrances too. You know, it's like you don't always have to talk. And so like Jared's like, I think William Regal's here. Regal? And he's like, he's trying not to talk. But it gets to a
Yeah.
point where JR is making him respond to him. And then JR asks him something else. And then Regal goes dead silent for another 15, 20 seconds because he's trying to let the entrance marinate. And
Yes.
like you need to let this happen because especially for these more these entrances that are more serious and cinematic, like this is not just a guy simply coming down to the ring. Like there's more substance, there's more meat on the bone for this, and you need to let it just happen and let it breathe and let it be natural. It would be like if you're talking over Max Caster's raps. It's like, you know, it's just don't do it. Like just shut up. You know, Juan
Yeah.
saying same thing with Undertaker's entrance. No talk during the first 40 seconds.
Nope.
Exactly. Once he gets ringside, then you talk. When he's at the ring, talk. But
Yeah.
for like, and again, I really appreciate Regal noticing that, and I recognize that from Regal, and I really appreciated the hell out of
Yeah,
it.
and I noticed it right away too, and it felt to me like he was doing it for Justin Roberts as well because you didn't want to be talking over Justin Roberts announcing, the AEW interim champion John Moxley, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
yeah, I mean to an extent, but I mean at the same, yeah, it could go either way. But regardless, he's trying to be aware of the presentation of the wrestler, and that's really important.
yeah, and
And it's
Juan
something
had the
that,
same idea there. That was
yeah,
what I took from it. He was waiting for Justin to finish the announcement.
yeah. I mean, possibly, but again, the critique still remains, and this isn't just a JR thing. Shivani's done it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Excalibur's done it. The
Completely
only one that
agree.
I don't think I've caught doing it is Taz, but Taz isn't really always on the team as much, so it's not really fair to say. But like Jericho's done it. Like all these guys who do these AEW, the commentary team, they just feel the need to fucking talk over
Yeah.
important parts of the entrances that should be quiet. And it's just like, let's reel it back. I understand you have to do your job, you have to get your point across, you need to get people over, but like let's turn it down a notch.
Yep.
Let's see what's going on. Big T saying JR seems really off. I don't think it's that he seems really off necessarily. It's just it
He's
you know what
getting
it
old,
reminds
man.
me of? It reminds me of old school WCW.
Yeah.
And again, AEW is very WCW, Jeff, you can attest to it, where like back in the day, like the commentators talked over everything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even about what was going on in the ring at the time. It could just be like whatever. Like you could argue that like the WCW commentary team was like early podcast. It's just them talking about everything, not
Yeah.
just the match, but like what the main event is. Like it's just conversation, and it's like you don't need to do that all the time.
Miss Taz saying here comes the pain during Brock's entrances. Yeah. He should say it during Wardlow. All right, so this match, man, Brody King and Moxley had a fantastic match, dude. And a lot of people were saying, "Holy shit, this is going to be a banger," and it did not disappoint as far as I was concerned. I thought this match was freaking awesome. Brody King looks huge. That is a massive human being. Um, his first chop to Moxley, I thought he was gonna chop his freaking head off. Ugh.
Yeah, man, it was a super hard hitting match where Brody was really taking it to Mox at the beginning of this match. It was very physical. Um, yeah, it started off really rough, including Brody dumping Mox onto the ramp. Now, at this point, I got a video game sign. that I saw in the crowd.
Oh, I missed it. What is it?
All right, so this fan, he is begging. The sign said, "Please put Yoshi's Cookie on the Switch." Now, have you ever played Yoshi's Cookie, Jeff?
Did not even know it existed.
That makes sense. You don't know anything about video games. So Yoshi's Cookie was a tile matching puzzle game. It came out on the Game Boy and the NES. It got a port on the Super Nintendo, and it was basically Yoshi in a cookie factory creating cookies by matching the cookies. Quite the odd choice to ask for it to come to Switch. It's not really a memorable game. It's just a puzzle game with Yoshi standing there matching cookies together. But as per usual, Big T, thank you. Big T saw it as well. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting sign. I don't know if that's the sign I would have made, but yeah, it's the sign that this person felt compelled to do. I think that like maybe ask for like Super Mario RPG on Switch or like Pokemon Game Boy games on Switch. Like I think there's other things we could get on Switch, but this guy really wants Yoshi's Cookie.
Is there a Pokemon Stadium that I can go on the Switch and battle somebody?
So no, and that's another thing you could put on is that you could argue let's get Pokemon Stadium on the Switch's NSO. The problem with that is, and I think the reason that they don't want to do it is because like there's 800 Pokemon now, 898 to be exact, and like Stadium 1 is 150 and Stadium 2 is like 2 something. So like I feel like they don't want to go backwards, but at the same time those Stadium games like are fucking incredible. Like you've played Stadium, right?
Stadium on 64 is still my favorite Pokemon game.
It's 1 or 2.
The first one, I believe, the original.
Okay. Stadium 2 is better because it has more Pokemon. It's just all around a better game. I'll have to show it to you someday. I have it.
I might actually have to check it out because I might be confusing the two. I'm not sure.
Possibly. So like Stadium 2 is always the better game in my opinion. Big T saying there's a Pokemon fighting game for Switch. Yeah, it's Pokken. It's not that great. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokken's fine. Which, by the way, I'm very happy to report that I'm currently towards the end of my first ever Pokemon Red Nuzlocke. So that's exciting. Made it to the Elite Four. I have to do the Elite Four tomorrow. It's something I've had some downtime at work, so I've been doing my first ever Nuzlocke, and people are telling me that Gen 1 was hard. I lost a few Pokemon here and there. I lost my starter, my Charmeleon. I'm really sorry, buddy. It was my fault. And then I lost my Nidoking. That one sucked too. But other than that, we're on to the Elite Four, and I'm doing pretty good.
Nice. All right, maybe that would be a good topic for one of our, the Broken Console podcast, one of the Pokemon games you're running through.
Absolutely, I love Pokemon. Again, Pokemon Center, you guys can give me a call. You can sponsor me. I'll wear all the hats that I can.
Hey, I mean, I don't think I have enough room for 896 Pokemon, let alone the 150 I want. So.
Well, so here's the problem, right? So you remember the Charizard shirt that I have on the original Stitch and stuff. I keep telling you about it. So I went to this party on Sunday, and like I got like 4 compliments for the shirt, and I was like, "Fuck! Now I really want to go buy more shirts." And they're not cheap. They're $100 shirts. They are expensive. They're stitched to make, stitched to order, and they sent out from Japan, so they're expensive. Juan asking, did I get this from ProWrestlingTees.com, this shirt? Yes, this is a Young Bucks shirt from ProWrestlingTees.com or AEWShop.com. I more so use AEW Shop, especially after the Pro Wrestling Tees leak, where they had a bunch of information leak. AEW Shop, so far, knock on wood, has not been like hacked or leaked yet. So generally, I use AEW Shop.
Yeah, just use the shop. It's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
this was
speaking of that Young Bucks shirt, they just made one for the 4th of July that the white is the American flag, and it's the same shirt. I want that one. I'm probably gonna get that.
Yeah, I don't want to be negative, but I haven't been feeling too super patriotic the last few weeks. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, what's more 4th of July than a mass shooting? What's more American than a mass shooting?
Yeah, well,
Anyway, you know,
that kid,
I don't want to get political.
yeah, I don't want to get on that either because you can go check out that kid's background and he shouldn't have been anywhere near. But yeah, let's not get into that. So back to the match here. My favorite part of Brody King is that he is a very believable monster. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
he looks scary. You could put this dude in a golf shirt and blue jeans and I would still be scared of the guy. You know what I mean? He's just got that look of like, yeah, I don't want to be near this guy. I definitely don't want to wrestle this guy.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really hard-hitting match, and Brody King was awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. He put on a great show. Definitely boost up anything the House of Black does in the future,
yeah.
Dude, that massive cannonball that he hit to Mox in the corner, that thing is just brutal. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah. So Big T saying that he got hit by the Pro Wrestling Tees hacker bug when the brand new CM Punk shirt came out when
Yeah.
Punk returned. It's really funny because the same thing happened to me. AEWshop.com kept crashing, so I was able to get the Punk shirt through Pro Wrestling Tees. And a few months later, one of the credit card I used, I had to get it deactivated because it was getting used by someone that wasn't me. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
And speaking of the pro wrestling tees, when I was in Chicago, I actually tried to go to the store because I've seen like Danhausen and other wrestlers go there and their shirts you could buy on the walls and stuff. They had actually closed their store, and it was no longer there. All that was there
Really?
was 1 hour tees next door, and 1 hour tees fulfills all their orders.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was kind
That's
of
really
upset.
lame. Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees is really kind of not that great. I don't like their fulfillment time either. I think that they have like a ridiculous amount of time that you have to wait for their shirts. I feel like that the shipping is also more expensive than it has to be.
Yeah.
Like if you buy one t-shirt, you should not be paying like $6 for shipping. Like I'm sorry, but like that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I bought things from
especially the way that
AEW.
they ship them just in that little plastic bag. Like that's not one of
Right,
those $5 things.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, why is this shipping so much for like it's gonna get tossed in my mailbox in this little packaging? It's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I would like to see AEW get big enough where they don't need pro wrestling tees at all. Um, that would be really nice.
Well, I think 1 hour tees has now become their t-shirt maker, and pro wrestling tees is just like a little division of it, really.
I guess so. It's disappointing all the
Yep.
same. But yeah, no, this was a hard hitting match. Don't want to keep getting off track. The Mox raking the back spot was really fucking gnarly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Brody hits the Mox with the sleeper. He like has him off the mat again. This was just a really hard hitting match, but in the end, Mox wins via the sleeper.
Yep, absolutely. No tap from Brody makes him pass out essentially, and Brody goes to sleep, and the ref calls the match. So excellent episode of Dynamite, man. I loved this whole episode beginning to end. I can see how some people didn't like the Dark Order segment, but as a Dark Order fan, it was aimed right at my heart, and they definitely hit what they were aiming for.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and again, it depends on how we want to look at it, positive, negative. Like,
yeah, of course, yeah.
In the coming weeks, if things don't change, I'm going to be sitting here a month from now being like, yeah, man, fuck the Dark Order, they suck.
Yep.
And
All right, so I'm gonna run to use a restroom real quick, and you can go ahead with our preview of Rampage. Is that cool?
Sure. I'll talk to people.
All right, cool. I'll be right back.
You go ahead. I'll probably wait for you, but go ahead. All right. So, folks, now that the old man's gone, here's the thing. So, you guys know, I try to put up with him as best I can. I really do. And it's not, how do I want to put this? The old man's got to get it together. He doesn't respect me as the champion, and at the end of the day, like, I fired Forrest from the show, and like, if I wanted to, I could fire him too. it's kind of ridiculous the way that this guy, treats me as the champion. I'm the champion of the podcast. You know what I mean? Like, yes, Big T, thank you, my friend. Like the way he speaks to me is ridiculous. Like I think I've earned the respect. I've literally defended my title since February, and I'm currently the longest reigning Broken Predictions champion in history. Like there's never been another one. And I think that
Oh
the
God.
old man should probably understand that. Oh, you're back.
I am back.
Okay. That being said, I would also just wanted to say, I know Purple's watching. Happy birthday, Purple. I hope she's having an awesome birthday.
Oh, she's passed out up there, I'm sure.
That being said, before we get into the preview, I would just like to announce that this week's Broken Tables podcast fan of the week goes to our new mod, Juan.
Hello.
Now Juan was on some shaky ground last week, but we had a little stream on Saturday. He was speaking my language. He said some stuff that I really vibed with. And so, Juan, congratulations, my friend. Big T, please do not talk about stabbing me in the back, and you'll be in the running again next week.
That'd be crazy if you got a King Rome sign up. That'd be fucking nuts.
I would mark the fuck out. I know that I do the heel character. Like, I do the heel character because it's really fun to do, and you guys seem to enjoy it. But like, oh no shit, like no lie, I would freak the fuck out if there's a King Rome shirt or sign. If you could do that, that would be the greatest moment of my entire life. Anyways, on to the preview. Ugh, Juan, what do you mean? You can't decline it. All right, fine. Big T, you're the Broken Tables fan of the week. Just don't talk about stabbing me in the back anymore, and we'll be fine.
No. So, Juan, it's not like Rome's fan of the week. It's the Broken Tables podcast of fan of the week, and the holder of the championship chooses the fan.
Yes, it's selected by me.
So yeah, it's just selected by him. So you're good to be, the Broken Tables fan of the week.
Yeah, well, don't get it twisted. Like,
oh man,
don't get it twisted. Like, Jeffrey's gonna respect whatever the champion says.
Yeah, you're accepting it because I'm already making your graphic, man.
Yes, please make the graphic while I get into the preview for this week, for next week. All right, let's get this preview started. So we got a few matches announced for Death Before Dishonor, the Ring of Honor. You're welcome, Juan. Congratulations, friend. For the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view that Big T is going to, and So the first match announced was the Ring of Honor television title. Samoa Joe will return and defend his title against Jay Lethal. We also had announced the Ring of Honor Pure Championship of Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia.
God, I can't wait for that match. That's gonna steal the show.
Well, so here's my thing. Like, I'm a little like, it's gonna be an excellent match no matter what. But like, that match is gonna be limited by Pure rules, which like they're fun, but it like
true.
Man, let those guys go in like a real regular match. I know you're just trolling Juan. It's all good, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be great. But then of course there's no confirmation. But FTR also challenged the Briscoes to FTR Briscoes 2 at the show. Obviously they challenged them, so it's safe to assume it's gonna happen. But for right now, those are the two matches we have for the pay-per-view. Yes, Big T, thank you. Big T is Team Broken Table. Absolutely. Rampage, we have Konosuke Takeshita versus Eddie Kingston. That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah, that sounds good. I didn't even see that. When did they announce that?
When they always do. When they do the don't worry.
Excalibur tries to run out of breath.
I take care of it. Don't worry. I got it. Anyways. We also have Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez will be teaming up and will be in action on Friday. Lee Moriarty and Jonathan Gresham will face Gates of Agony. So a very Ring of Honor heavy Rampage this Friday. We will have Orange Cassidy versus Tony Nese. Tony Nese going up against another meme wrestler, as Mark Sterling put it.
Another mean wrestler.
So that's the gimmick right now is Mark Sterling's like, we keep beating up these meme wrestlers. We beat up Danhausen and then whoever they feuded with just now, and then they're gonna face whatchamacallit, Orange Cassidy.
Tell you, Tony Nese looks like he's chiseled out of granite. If that guy's got anything for him, man, it's that body.
Yeah, dude looks good. He always looks good.
He has like negative percentage body fat.
Yep. And then so for next week is Fighter Fest, which always leads to be a good Dynamite. It's a theme show that they do every year. Only have 2 matches announced right now. Claudio Castagnoli versus Jake Hager. And the 3-way dance for the AEW Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks will defend their titles against Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, and Team Taz, Ricky Starks, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Which I forgot to mention, but there was a really cool line from the Ricky Starks promo tonight where they were talking about how he's like, we can make you go away and disappear, make you irrelevant and end your career. Just ask the former member of Team Taz, which was a shot at Brian Cage.
Brian Cage, yeah.
Wild.
That actually shocked me.
What'd you say?
That actually shocked me that he said that. I was like, whoa.
Again, let these guys go. Let them shoot a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Big T said he's worried about tickets for the pay-per-view. They're going to be crazy. Not looking forward to the pre-sale. Yeah,
Yeah. Ring of Honor might be different, though. I mean, it's not Forbidden Door, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We will see. I think the nice thing about that arena, because again, I did some research, that arena doesn't look like there's really any bad seats in the house. So,
no, yeah.
Would be very excited for that show.
And speaking of Forbidden Door, man, I was shocked to hear that they believe it did over 125,000 buys. I said 100,000 would have been great for them. So if they hit 125K, dude, that was a huge success.
Yeah, I mean, I it was discussed a lot leading into it that 100,000 buys would be a success, and I think that the show blew people away with expectations. My only concern, and we've talked about it, and a few people, Ryan's not here anymore, but he said earlier, is just that month of TV kind of lacked. I mean, it led to some excellent matches at a pay-per-view, but I would like to see us try to figure that balance out a little bit more, where figure something out, because it was definitely lacking in the story department.
Yeah.
Well, I think you got to think that they're going to have another one.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't know that like New Japan doesn't announce any type of storylines or matches until like previous week's episodes have gone by. So it seemed like they were just kind of like, I don't want to say like doing that, but like kind of honoring that a little bit with the Japan partnership. You can see that right away we've started storylines again, you know what I mean? So it was just a product of the Forbidden Door. It was just, it is what it was, and I think we're well on our way past that now. So I think we don't have too much to worry about.
Yeah. Juan in the chat with a question. He's asking if we had to give a prediction, what year and pay-per-view will AEW hold their first stadium show? That's a great question, Juan. I think that
I already have my answer. So
sorry, go ahead.
Let me go first since I already got my answer there. It's going to be Double or Nothing in Las Vegas of 2024 in 2 years. Not next year, but the one after.
See, I'm a little torn. I think that there is a lot of talent in AEW. I think it depends on when they're expecting to get these guys back. I mean, Kenny back, Punk back, Danielson back, a few of the other guys, Jungle Boy back, Red Dragon back. Like, I could see them doing it next year, honestly, and I don't think it would be Double or Nothing because they do Double or Nothing in Vegas. I think they would want to use Jaguar Stadium in Florida. So I would guess that they do Revolution in February in Jacksonville. That would be my guess.
My only concern would be, can you fill a stadium in Jacksonville with wrestling fans, which probably...
Yeah, of course they could. They would fly in.
Yeah, true. But I'm just saying, like, but Vegas is kind of a bigger destination, I would say. But I do agree with you. I think that would be a great spot for it.
I mean, I understand Vegas obviously is a big destination, but Florida is too. A lot of people go to Florida every year.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a huge vacation spot. Absolutely.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's not any like if they could do pay-per-views in Chicago, they'll do pay-per-views in Jacksonville. That's not a problem. And they'll
Yeah.
sell them out too. If again, like I don't know. I think it's a great question from Juan that he placed on us.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
just thinking
I would-
about
I
the
would expect
market.
within
You
the
know what I
next
mean?
2 years.
Like WWE tried to book the stadium in Vegas, and they wound up having to move to the MGM Grand. So
Well, there's a difference there.
yeah, I think that would be a good stadium to actually sell out, because it would be like, hey, remember when you guys had to move Money in the Bank? Well, we just sold it out.
Yeah. But I do see it happening within the next 2 years.
Yeah. I think if they land Sasha and all those guys come back that you just mentioned, I think it could happen a year before. I think it could be next year. If all the cards fall
Wyndham.
right. Whew.
Wyndham, everyone.
Oh
There,
my
yeah.
God. If Wyndham and Sasha and everybody's back being healthy, holy shit, that roster, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah, I definitely could see it happening.
Gotta be nuts. All right. You got anything else for us you wanted to go over?
Trying to think. I told the Anthony Bowen story that I thought was interesting. The news with Colt Cabana, which we talked about.
Yeah.
No, I think that pretty much kind of sums it all up. I mean, all in all, it was a great Dynamite. It's Friday's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get a lot of Ring of Honor storyline progression on Friday night.
Yeah,
Next
Rampage
week's
looks like a
Fyter
banger.
Fest. Next week's Fyter Fest, and Fyter Fest is always a good show. I mean, final thoughts would be I hope that the Dark Order end up actually doing something, because I'm going to be super disappointed if they don't do something.
Oh, 100% agree. 100% agree.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of final thoughts. Hopefully we get Mox again next week defending his title against someone else. I think you could continue to do some cool stuff there.
Oh, absolutely. I think you could have some really cool matches with Mox. And I don't want to say the word randomly, but you could just randomly give him guys on the roster and make people look good. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, man. Go ahead and close us out.
Big T saying, wait guys, there's your next WWE pay-per-view topic. You guys and us in the chat book the AEW Stadium show. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
hell
that.
yeah.
Yeah, when's the next WWE pay-per-view? They do them one a month, right?
Something like that. It'll be SummerSlam's next, I believe. Is it?
Yeah, we could do that for SummerSlam. We'll figure it out as we get closer to the date as we figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I can close it out. As your champion, it's my responsibility to close the show out. That's just that's my job, and I always do a fantastic job at that. I'm not gonna cough and ruin stuff. You know what I mean? Juan asking when we're gonna be streaming on Mondays. We're trying to figure out the details of that.
Yeah, Juan, we're definitely gonna get there. I want to do something on Mondays. Even if Rome can't make it every Monday, I maybe want to try to get something out, like a video or something. Maybe we'll do a recording when he can do something. But either way, we're gonna try to get something going on Mondays.
Yep. Thank you, Big T, once again, and thank you to everyone else who joined us tonight. This has been episode 52 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribe or follow, depending on where you find us. Thank you for listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can follow us on Twitter at Broken Table Show or on Facebook and Instagram at the Broken Tables Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at XGamerForLifeX. It's in Leet Speak. I'm sorry I made it when I was like
I am Chairman Jeff now. This is awesome. I'm so happy.
I was 13 years old when I made Gamer for Life, so but it just stuck. So feel free to follow me there. Love having conversations, stuff like that. We go live on YouTube following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and even pay-per-views. Once again, I am your reigning, defending, Broken Predictions champion. And Jeff, you may be the boss, but you are not the king. You are not the champion. And without me, there is no podcast, as far as I'm concerned.
One day.
Thank you to everyone watching. Hope everyone has a great day tomorrow. We hope to see you guys again on Friday. Until then, catch you next time.
Right on, everybody. Have a good night. Top Guys out.